Hey y'all, I'm finally back to do another tutorial. Today's tutorial is pretty simple, and I'm also going to talk about a few kind of tips that might help some of you. We're working with 3-inch ribbon today, and I find that recently 3-inch ribbon has become very popular and more available. However, I don't find that there are very many tutorials using 3-inch ribbon except for cheer bows. Okay, so I am just going to make a simple boutique bow out of the 3-inch ribbon. And then, like I said, I'm just going to talk about a couple of tips and tricks that I use with bows. This particular ribbon is, I bought it from a website called ohmygoshgoodies.com. They have a very large and beautiful selection of 3-inch ribbon, 3-inch width. And this piece is cut to 56 inches. Yeah. So you want to go about 54 to 56 inches to make a large bow like this. This is what we're going to make, okay? The only difference is this one's double, you have double, you know, it's got the backing, this tan backing ribbon, okay? I'm just going to use a single layer. This one's double layered, but it would be the same, you know, process. Okay, but this is the size we're going to use. Very large, very, you know, very big southern bow. And that's the way we like them here. Okay, so this is just, you know, my version. Now, your supplies, of course, you will need your ribbon, glue gun. I'm going to use my salon clip. Needle and thread. I use the upholstery thread. Okay, scissors. I also use like a, you know, an alligator clip to help hold like an extra pair of hands. Barrette. Okay, and then I've already made my knot to go in the middle. Got this shiny sequin ribbon. You can probably hear my dogs in the back. So just ignore them. After you've cut your ribbon, and I've already gone ahead and cut my angles and heat sealed, so you'll want to go ahead and do that. And then the next thing that I did was I stiffened my ribbon, because with this ribbon being as wide as it is, it's very floppy and hard to work with. Okay, so what I do to kind of remedy that situation is I use hairspray to stiffen it. And in just a minute I'm going to talk about the difference between the hairspray and the Stiffen Quick and kind of the pros and cons. Okay, so once you have your ribbon cut and heat sealed, or you can stiffen it and then heat seal it, whatever. What I did was I just kind of hung it in front of a little fan, and even if you don't have a fan or whatever, it doesn't take long to dry with hairspray, so I just clipped it, you know, lengthwise. And what you want to do when you have like a painted, printed side like this, what I do is I spray it on the back side, okay, and not the front side, so it doesn't get messed up or sticky or whatever. You know, you do it on the back. And then once your ribbon is dry, it's much easier to work with. So stiffening the ribbon before you make the bow is something that I would recommend. And then if you need further stiffening after you make the bow, you know, you can do that as well. But again, with this, you know, this painted kind of ribbon here, it's better, you know, just to do it beforehand. And it makes it easier to work with. Okay. Now, even though I'm going to be using the salon clip to kind of adjust my loops, I'm not actually going to use it to crease my bow. You can, but it's a little hard because this salon clip is actually not going to be quite long enough. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so we're going to start with the first loop. And again, these are very large bows, so you may need to, you know, stop and readjust several times. No, Tippy, you're moving my camera. Okay, so then you want to do your first loop. Alright, and then you, oops. Okay, and again, it's like dealing with a big piece of material or whatever. Okay, now you want to just kind of work with those bottom loops, kind of get them, you know, whatever size you want. You can make them, you know, stick out a little bit further or whatever. And it's just so much easier to work with when it's stiffened. Okay, and then I'm going to get my little clip, and I always clip it right here to just kind of hold it in place. Okay, so now we got our bottom loops, and then we're going to take our top and we're going to tuck it in behind this little tail right here. Okay. Alright, and then I've got this last flap here, and I'm going to bring it over. Alright, and then I'm just going to take a look and adjust. Alright, and I think I'm going to get my loops a little bit tighter here. And, you know, this ribbon is as wide as it is, it's very awkward to work with. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of what I have so far. Now, my loops are probably not totally even, so that's why I like the salon clip. Okay, but like I said, it might not quite be long enough. Well, it might be long enough here. Okay, so then I'm going to take my alligator clip off, and I'm going to take a look at it. And I always like to, you know, in every video I pretty much do this. This is the way I measure. Okay, and this one I need to pull it over a little bit more. Okay, just bear with me a minute. And then, I don't know, for some reason my left is always shorter, or my right rather, is always shorter than my left. Do I know my left from my right? Okay, so again, I'm just measuring here and readjusting, and I can't say enough how much easier this ribbon is to work with once you've stiffened it. And even, you know, like 2/4 of an inch ribbon, you can stiffen it. It might be easier to work with, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. Now, you can take the needle and thread and go through the back. It looks like I have enough room. Okay, but I'm just going to hand crease mine real quick. So I'm going to take that off. Okay, and then I just simply make my first little loop there, or whatever you want to call it, hump, bump, mountain. Okay, then the second one, and then I just have to fold this down. It's like 3 creases here. Okay. This is kind of hard to do when you have a double layer, but this is what you should have. Okay. And then you want to get your needle and thread however you crease yours. And I just go through the top here. I gotta press it on the table. The ribbon is a little bit thick, plus, you know, with it being stiffened, that adds to it. And sometimes I get my pliers here and pull it through. Okay. Alright. And then I just wrap it around. Most of the time I use my salon clip to crease, but for some reason with these bigger bows, I like to do the hand creasing if it's easy for me to. Okay, and then before you tie it off in the back, you just kind of want to adjust. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to tie it off in the back. See how big it is? It's just so big to deal with that it can be kind of awkward. But they look so precious on a little girl's hair. I love them. Okay, and to me 56 inches, this is cut to 56 inches in length. 56 inches works perfect, I think, for this size bow. And if you want to go just a little bit less, you know, you can. Okay, and then of course I get my barrette. Whoops. Of course my barrette fell apart. Okay, now just want to make sure it's good. Alright, and then I just put my little strip of glue back here. And I'm going to let my barrette sit for a minute. And then I wrap my thread. Remember, I don't cut my thread until after I surround my barrette. Okay, and then you just tie another knot around this. Preferably don't get your barrette tangled in it. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut it off here. Okay, and I have in previous tutorials I've shown everybody how to do the knot. This is actually a double layered knot. I've got my pretty ribbon in the front and then just some solid silver underneath. Okay, and you don't have to do this, but put a little dot of glue on there. Love that sequin ribbon, and they sell some of it at Hobby Lobby in the trim section by the ribbon. Alright, and then I'm just going to cut off my excess. Oh, my barrette is not cooperating with me. And glue the flaps over. Sorry if you couldn't see that. Okay. And then I'm just, you know, adjusting a little bit back here. And then I'm going to put my tension bar back in using my little trick. Okay, and there's our bow. You know, not really something that takes a long time to make. Big and fabulous, and you could add rhinestones here, and you could put little rhinestones everywhere all over it if you wanted to. That's probably more for solid color bows. Alright, but there's our bow, and like I said, the trick to having it so easy to deal with is the hairspray, stiffening it beforehand. Okay, so that's the first part of the video. The second part involves something that most mothers may run into with wrinkled hair bows. Okay, and I've got this little medium size black hair bow here. and a lot of times you're out and I don't know, your child doesn't want the bow in her hair anymore, or she changes or whatever, and you shove it in your purse, or you know, when you get home it's shoved in a drawer, okay, and it ends up, you know, being smashed or whatever, okay, and you've got wrinkles. Okay, well, I have a nifty little way of kind of getting those wrinkles out. If you haven't used this method already, I just want to share it, and this is what I do. I have this hair straightener, and it's actually a mini hair iron, and I got the mini one, you know, simply because it's easier to deal with than the bigger one. But it was actually more expensive. I think I paid $19 for this. But you can get these hair straighteners, hair irons, whatever you want to call them, for like 10 bucks. You know, and it's really, it's actually, you know, you could use it as an iron. Just, you know, for a strip of ribbon, say that you have a roll of ribbon and it's wrinkled. You know, like, I mean, this is not wrinkled, but anyway, you know, I've gotten plenty of wrinkled ribbon, okay, and you can just take it and unwrinkle your ribbon or whatever, okay. It's just nice, you know, to have right there, and you know, not have to drag out a big iron or whatever. Okay, so it's good for that. Now, just to demonstrate on this bow, you can see like the big wrinkle across there, right? Okay, so, and that's why I like this small one. Alright, I just kind of go over very gently. And voila, look at that. Fabulous. Okay, so that was just something, you know, I kind of wanted to share with everybody. If you have wrinkled bows, and you know, and even just to freshen them up and make them look stiff and perky, this is, you know, a great little tool for that. Okay, and then the last thing I just want to talk about real quick, there's a constant debate, I think, about what's better to stiffen, you know, what's better to use to stiffen your bows, the hairspray or the Stiffen Quick. Okay, and I'll just put my 2 cents in here and you can decide for yourself. I used to use the Stiffen Quick quite a bit. It is a lot more expensive. You do have to use quite a bit more of it than you do the hairspray, and it's a wonderful product, and I do use it on, you know, the smaller bows, but like I said, it, you know, it takes quite a bit more, and it takes longer to dry. Okay, great product, but whenever you're putting out massive amounts of bows, you know, the hairspray might be a better option simply because it's cheaper. I think that you don't have to use as much to stiffen your bows, and it, you know, almost dries instantly. Well, not instantly, but it dries a lot quicker. Okay, so if you've ever wondered which one to buy, like I said, both are great, you know, but if you say you only even have just a few little bows every once in a while, you know, just grab your hairspray. Or if you have a lot of bows, you know, it's just totally up to you, but that's what I just feel like hairspray is, you know, the better product as far as price and the amount you have to use and how quick it dries. Okay, but anyway, this is a great product, you know, and of course if you're allergic to hairspray, then you know, this is out totally, you know, it just depends. Okay, but you know, like I said, I still use this as well. Okay, hope everybody's having a great summer. I got a lot of response from the 4th of July funky loopy bow. Everyone seemed to really like that one. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the awesome comments, and I hope to get another tutorial up in another day or two. And then I'm going to start school bows. Definitely I want to do like a little crayon bow. That's one of my favorites. And there have been some other requests too, and I hope to get to every single one. But please leave me a comment. Tell me what you would like to see a tutorial on, and you know, shoot me an email if you have questions. Or one thing that I'm starting to see a few more pictures on my Facebook, Big Southern Bows, and I'll leave the link with some of the projects. So I'd love to see what you guys created. Please shoot me some pictures. And until next time, y'all have an awesome day. Thank you.